Hello, all. Good morning. Look at that hair.
Oh,
Yeah, it's morning and morning time, and we're just kind of sleepily waking. But of course, my big Stranger Things fan, she's awake.
mhm.
Hello to Bronze Page. Good morning to you. Hello to Ariel. Good morning to you. JP is here. Good morning. And he says, starter question, Stranger Things, greatest show ever or greatest anything ever? And then the entire show is now filled with content for Kate.
Literally.
What's up, Jen? Good morning to you. How are things going? Katie Kaboom in the chat. Good morning. Just a weekend. What is going on, Rod? Good morning. And yeah, we're definitely going to talk some Stranger Things today because we basically spent yesterday watching 4 hours of Stranger Things to be finished with season 4. They dropped the final 2 episodes of season 4. The second to last one was an hour and a half, and the last one was 2.5 hours.
It's like a movie.
It's more than a movie, you know. And so we watched all 4 hours. We are caught up. We have finished season 4, so I'm sure we'll get into it a little bit. And I even made some out of context spoiler images.
Oh,
So
yes.
a buddy of mine is notorious for doing this. So he'll watch, like, say, the new Doctor Strange movie and doesn't want to spoil it for anybody. So he'll post photos from something totally out of context, not related to Doctor Strange, but also kind of related to Doctor Strange.
Mhm.
So he might post a picture of Neo from The Matrix in the scene when his mouth slowly disappears and he's got no mouth, referencing the moment in Doctor Strange when Black Bolt loses his mouth, right? So it's not really giving anything away unless you've seen it, and then you're like, oh, that's a spoiler, right? So I've made some spoiler out of context things, and I posted them on my Instagram this morning.
Can I see?
But I'm going to post them right now. So don't. Here's one for Kate. So spoiler. Here's one for Kate. I don't know. For those of you, if you've seen the movie or if you've seen the episode, here I am. This is very relevant to the show. But if you haven't seen it, it's an out of context spoiler for season 4. And I thought of this while we were watching Stranger Things. I was like,
So
oh
good.
my God.
Okay.
So I've got a few others, but we'll get to them later. But so I don't want to go crazy with spoilers and have everybody being like, I can't watch. I want to see the show. We don't want to ruin it like crazy. We don't want to, but we do want to talk about how we felt about it and all that kind of stuff. So we'll get into it as well. Yes, and that I would say, JP, that it's been that way all season. They, the first, was it 7 episodes they dropped?
An hour. Yeah, it's 7. Sorry.
They did 7, and then they did these new 2,
Mhm.
right? So the first 7, they were almost all an hour and a half also, right? Each of those was like hour and 20 minutes, almost like every episode this entire season was a movie. If you lumped it all together, all 9 episodes or whatever it was, you're talking about like almost like 2 hours each week, each episode. It was a lot. They gave us a lot.
Split it into 2 seasons.
Jen says she's only about halfway through the last episode, but these have been her favorite episodes of the series.
Whoa.
And I will say the fun. I got to remember what episodes. So did they give us 7 before?
Yes.
And then this was 8 and 9.
Yes.
Episode 7
was really awesome.
is phenomenal.
It's called The Massacre.
Is that, yeah. So it was like the mid-season finale or whatever for season 4. It was amazing. And these latest 2, I think, follow with it really nicely. Kate came away with mixed feelings. And we'll get into some of that a little bit later as well. I got some comic books as well. And I put a lot of fun X-Men variants behind me today. So a lot of different kind of covers. I've been snagging some fun variants. This is the one I grabbed this week, the Storm 1 in 25, beautiful Stephanie Hans cover. Behind Kate is the Green Rogue that I got in the mail last week. I just been grabbing some of these fun covers and variants that maybe I would have missed out on otherwise, but my pull list is so tiny. Please don't spoil anything, but please let Eddie Munson live. I love him so much, says Jen. Yeah, you and I, Jen, love the same characters. I think Steve Harrington and Eddie Munson are among our favorite characters on that series. There's a ton of characters to like. Obviously, Elle is a pretty phenomenal character, and Hopper is a pretty phenomenal character. Haven't seen Stranger Things, but I might start watching with my husband once the kids are in bed. It's totally worth it. In fact, this morning I started rewatching the very first episode from season 1, and it's a perfectly bingeable show. You can just plow through because it's only, like 10 or 15 episodes at most a season, and they've only done 4 seasons, so you could plow through the show in a weekend.
8 or 9 every season.
Is it 8 or 9?
It's always under 10.
So there you go. So you're talking about less than 40 episodes. You could plow through that. You could clear that out, Katie, and not have any challenge with that. So let's do some comics. Kate was like, "Don't just start right the show." And I know Jen, we'll be careful with you. And yes, Jen, yes I am.
They're making a paper movie.
So firstly, Chip Zdarsky's got a new comic that dropped from Image called Public Domain, and it's about comic book characters and the people who own the rights of those characters. And there's some not too subtle shots at like Marvel Studios and the way they've treated some of their writers and some of their artists when it comes to making their product appear on screen. I know a lot of talk was about David Aja, the artist behind the Hawkeye run that was used to inspire the show. And I know that he didn't get any money for that show. In fact, the intro sequence was based on his art style, and he didn't get anything for that show. Right. Marvel gets a ton, but do these writers and artists deserve some? That's kind of the focus of this new Zdarsky series. What is public domain, meaning free for the world, and what is owned by the creator? And Marvel has always had the thinking, and so does DC, that if you make something for them, they own it. They will pay you for what you do, and then that's it. You don't get anything after that. That's kind of their feeling. It seems Chip Zdarsky has other thoughts. That's kind of cool. I've been loving Righteous Thirst for Vengeance. Kate's already like, done. She's like, I wanted you to talk about comics, but I still really want to talk about Stranger Things.
No.
I can stop if you want. This series has been great. Rick Remender is doing a great job with this. I've never really read one of his ongoing series week by week. So this was it's been a fun eye opener. This is what, 9? Yeah, issue 9. Issues 7 and 8 were bonkers. It's a very violent comic, very graphic, very intense. But I've been really enjoying it. I don't know how long it's going to go for. I may have to transition to trade reading at some point. It looks like Jen read Public Domain as well. She said it made her think about Jack Kirby and how he would feel about the MCU, because obviously he was the artist along with Stan Lee for a lot of these products, and we all know that artists and writers together create a comic. So to say that the money should all go to the writer or to the publisher sort of denies the artist their due. I think there's a lot of artists who would disagree with that. And my last indie book is also my last Image book. I grabbed 8 Billion Genies issue 2. I really enjoyed issue 1, and I didn't realize it was going to be the hot book that's like now everybody's like looking after. But what an interesting concept of everyone on Earth gets a genie all at once, all at the same time, and everybody gets one wish. And the world goes crazy.
Yeah,
because people don't know how to control themselves. And this one guy who owns the Lampwick bar and music hall uses his wish instantly to say, no matter what anybody wishes, my wish is that my bar and everyone in it is completely safe. So no wishes can impact anything inside of his bar. And he has basically created this safe zone. Now, he is a former soldier, and he has like a survivor bunker underneath his bar. So it's like food and shelter and all these things. He's basically made a bunker to survive this genie invasion.
Genie apocalypse.
Yeah, and you open the door and it's like fire and apocalypse and craziness going on. But you close the door and it's the safe space. And then if somebody mistakenly uses their genie inside the bar, it doesn't have any effect. The bar is a safe space.
Oh, that poor person.
So if I was gonna be like, oh, she has to fall in love with me, it's not gonna work. I thought issue 2 was a nice follow up to issue 1. I agree, Rod. I think it's a really fun book, and they do a good job of expanding on the characters because issue 1 was about the idea, all these genies and what's going on, and the guy who makes his wish to save the bar. Issue 2 is about who is in the bar, like who's there, what are their choices, who is this guy, why did he choose the thing that he chose. It was very, very interesting. Rod with a $2 super chat. I'm gonna play you some goodies here, my man. Let's see. How about this one? Let's see, Rod. Kate likes this one too. Yeah, that's Kate's favorite. So there you go. Yeah, those are the indie comics I read this week. 3 indies that I'm reading: a new number 1, an issue 2, and an ongoing that I've been enjoying. My pull list has been getting so low. It's allowed me the opportunity to pick up some other books that I've really wanted to get for my, Silver Age collection, and occasionally these really great variants. So I'll show you this Stephanie Hans cover I got. I don't usually buy ratio variants, but this is the Hans variant for issue 4 of X-Men Red, and she's just unbelievably talented, which we all know. But to see her do a great Storm, cover with the hair going crazy and the lightning and it's just too cool, right? Come on, that's a masterpiece. Like the shoulder pads with the chain and stuff. It's almost like a military thing she's wearing. Right. Hopefully not too much glare on there. We'll just have to deal with it. So yeah, that's been some of the books that I grabbed this week. Yeah. How you doing? All right. First up, Kate. What grade? You can either do letter grades or you can do out of 10 stars or whatever. Would you give season 4 of Stranger Things? Do you want to do the other seasons first?
Yeah.
Sure. What would you do for season 1?
Season 1 is probably an 8 or a 9. 8. I'll do an 8.
An 8 out of 10 is season 1.
8,
that's surprising for me. That seems low to me for you. Okay, 8.5. Season 2.
I really like season 2.
It's your favorite, right?
So probably okay, I'll rate the last one a 9 and this one a 10.
Okay, that's that seems more like what I assumed.
Season 1 is a 9, this one's a 10.
And then season 3.
I feel like you don't really like this one.
But you
really like.
Yeah, it's how you feel about it.
It's not as scary. That one more focuses on the actual kids, which I like learning about the characters.
Sure.
So I rate that one maybe an 8,
7.5. So 9, 8, 7. Sorry.
9, 10.
9, 10, 8.
Yeah.
All right. So all very high. B's and A's and A pluses. What about season 4?
I have such mixed thoughts about season.
I'm excited for what you're going to say here.
I have really mixed feelings about season 4.
Okay.
Because I feel like, my favorite character is Will.
Don't give things away, right?
I'm not.
Okay.
I'm just saying that storyline with the California crew.
Yes.
With Jonathan, a new character, Argyle.
Will and Mike. And 11.
Very little story time.
Yeah.
And they had very little screen time, which was annoying.
And didn't move the plot a whole bunch each week either. It seemed very slow over there.
Yeah.
Okay, so that was frustrating to you. I know you like Will a lot.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah. And season 2 is my favorite because they did so much with him.
He got a lot more to do. Season 1, he was obviously missing for most of the season. Yeah. And season 3, he kind of is again. Season 4, he's just sidelined. He's off to the side.
He was in season 3 too. He had 7 minutes.
I thought he was always so I used this term with you guys the other day, the canary in the coal mine.
He is.
You know what that is,
Yes, I
right?
know what it
When they
is.
would go down in the mines, they would
They
take a
put and
canary.
if it stopped like
If
squawking,
if it
then-
died, they knew that there was too much gas in there, that it was dangerous. So in that way, Will is kind of like the canary, right? Because he's like
you can do the
he gets the goosebumps, and he's like, oh no, there's a mind flayer nearby or whatever.
I can feel him.
Yeah, right. So for me, like I think it's better than that personally. So what did you say it was?
I didn't say.
Oh, you
it
didn't
yet.
say
I
yet.
was just talking about it.
Okay.
Maybe a 7.5.
Ooh, so your least favorite season.
An 8. No. Okay.
7.5 makes it your
This is
least
so
favorite.
confusing.
8 makes it tied for your least favorite.
It definitely wasn't my favorite. Okay, if it had just been the Hawkins storyline, I would.
No, you would have been frustrated because then your guy wouldn't have been in it.
I don't care. That storyline was so much better than any other storyline in there.
You're 3 seasons behind Tacoma.
Bruh.
You can't
Oh my
ask. You
God.
can't ask that. That's a lot to ask.
It came out in 2016.
3 seasons, man. You got work to do this summer. That's what I want Ian to do. Ian's gonna get the family together and plow through some Stranger Things. Okay, for me, I would rank.
I think it's an 8.
Okay, that's all really high. I would probably rank season 1 as like a 9.5. Season 2, right in the same range, 9.5, 10, like really high.
Mhm.
Season 3 was lower for me, so like an 8. So same as you, basically. This one feels back up there with the first few seasons.
Really?
I would give this one a 9, 8.5. I think it's better than last season, almost as good as the first few seasons. And it has some weak spots, but it also has some highlights. I mean, who would have predicted Eddie Munson going into that, right? Who would have predicted that? Just what a great character, because you go in, like, sometimes shows add new characters and you're like, God, I hate this character. I don't want any more of this
Yeah,
character.
he's an actually good character.
You're like, wow, that was a really entertaining ad to the crew. Really added something, I loved episode 7. Sorry, episode 7. I thought was really great.
Mhm.
I've mentioned it a few times. I thought 8 and 9 were also really, really strong. And like I told Kate, like it's 2.5 hours for that last one because they're really going to set up season 5.
Oh yeah.
And they'd spent a ton of time setting up season 5. That was like a big part about it.
Because that's going to be the end of everything. The beginning of the end.
As
Vecna says.
Vecna says. Vecna is the villain in season 4. If you haven't,
Sorry.
Each season seems to have a villain that in some ways or another could be said to be inspired by a D&D character. So Vecna is the thematic villain for this season. That's the name they've given the monster.
Yeah.
They had the Demogorgon in season 1, the Mind Flayer in
season 2 and
2
3.
and 3, right? Yeah, that's what I was going to say.
Demogorgons 1 and 2, and then Mind Flayers
and then they have the little guys. What do they call them? Dart? Demodogs. So then those dogs, yeah. Sorry, Ariel says, didn't realize, so I have to binge this season. Honestly, it's worth it. I think you'll love it. I just finished yesterday with the girls. I'm ready to rewatch the whole thing from the beginning. It's just that great. Wait, you're 4 seasons behind?
JP's never watched it.
He's joking. Shame. Kate's favorite character is definitely Will, but then who's your second favorite?
I feel like I always put Lucas up there. He's not my second favorite, but he's up there with my favorites.
He had an interesting arc this season.
He did. It was kind of like Steve almost.
Steven-esque, but going the opposite direction.
Yes.
He stopped wanting to be with his friends and be true to who he was, and he started wanting to just be cool.
Yeah, but then he
Steve was doing coming the other direction in seasons 1 and 2.
He was crawling. That's what he said. But I don't really like any of the older teens as favorites. The kids are always going to be my favorites. I used to have Mike up there in season 1 and 2, but he was such a like.
I'm so hard on Mike. Kate
I know
gets
you
so
hate
mad at me
him.
because I don't like that actor a whole bunch. Like I don't know that he's really great, and I don't know that they give him much to do.
No, they don't. That's
And
definitely the problem.
I think he's pretty boring after a while. He's got useful stuff to do in season 1 and maybe even season 2, you could say.
Oh yeah.
But then he
season
just kind of
four.
like falls off for me.
He doesn't care about his friends in season 3 and season 4. It's just Elle,
It's true.
which I think is the weakest point
It's
in the entire
classically
relationship.
teenage.
Ugh.
Huh.
But second favorite?
Hmm.
Uh,
It's not 11.
I feel like I don't have any other favorite characters.
It's Will, and then everybody else comes in second.
Sucks, yeah. Okay.
Not sucks,
okay.
because that's bad to say about a show you're giving like 9s and 10s to.
Yeah. Okay, I feel like Steve's probably up there.
Yes, Steve is number 1.
Steve's number 2. Maybe.
He's always number 1 for me. Steve
God,
is
it's so
the best.
frustrating. If
Steve
if
Harrington
they
all
had
the way.
given more to Will, he could have. His actor's better than all.
He
the
is the best
kids.
actor, I think, of all those kids.
Yes.
I think he is the best actor of all the kids, even better than 11, who gets a lot of praise. She just has a couple of really good notes that she plays, but that kid who plays Will is very talented. And I thought
Yes.
this season he had a couple of huge scenes, not like a big story arc, but a couple of really, especially at the end here, these last 7, 8, and 9, lots of good scenes.
Yeah.
What is up, Mark? Legion of Comics. Good morning, man. Good to see you. Bronze Page says, hey guys, when do classes begin to learn all the characters' names now that I'm watching and like the current season?
I'll help you out, bro. I promise.
We'll teach some Stranger Things classes. All right.
Yes.
How about another spoiler
Free.
image that is out of context?
Mhm.
So it might not be anything you really understand or recognize. Let's go with this one. Do you get that one, Kate?
Oh, crap.
Do you get it?
Oh,
This is perfect.
Can you mute for a second?
No.
No, I want to check if I know what this is.
If you know, then you. If you know, then you know. No.
Please.
So this is the scene
I
in
think I know.
Rise of Skywalker when Rey is trying to heal. What's his name?
Oh, I
And
thought it was
then-
something completely
No.
different. Now I understand. I was
This
like,
is Rey trying to heal, like using her power to heal him, and then that's the end of
Got
the movie
it.
too.
that's good.
I thought it was a good one.
Yes.
I thought it's out of context. It's hard to kind of know what's going on. A little something there. These are out of context spoilers. That way we can not ruin the movie or the shows for anybody, but at the same time have a little fun and see Kate's reaction to stuff.
That was so good. I thought it was something completely different, bro.
So Steve Harrington is my favorite character,
Okay.
but second favorite is Tricky. And I am the opposite of you. I tend to like the older kids a lot
You
better.
like Nancy a lot.
I think Nancy is fantastic, but it's partly because I loved Nightmare on Elm Street as a kid, and Nancy's a huge part of that series, and they've chosen an actress who looks a ton like that Nancy. And for me, like I can't help like seeing visions of Nancy. So I like Nancy and Steve a lot. I also like Ethan Hawke's daughter
Maya Hawke
plays Robin. I like Robin a ton.
She's so funny.
So that whole love triangle, actually, it's more like a love square when you throw Jonathan in, is very entertaining. To me.
but Robin's
gay.
Yeah.
But
the thing with Steve, he still likes her.
Yeah. And so I like that whole dynamic. Of the young kids, Dustin is probably my favorite.
He had some good scenes this season.
Has great delivery. That kid knows how to deliver a line and be funny, but also be sensitive. He was some of the best parts of season 3. Isn't that when they do the Neverending Story song? When he sings, his singing Neverending Story with his girlfriend is the pinnacle of that show in season 3.
No, really,
it's
that was
so
the best
good.
scene that entire season.
So good.
It's so iconic.
The theme song from Neverending Story is like his jam, and then when he has to sing it, it's so good.
It's so funny.
So that was high on my list of great moments. If you want, Charlie, you can get a plate and some breakfast. Charlie's awake, guys. So Dustin, ranks pretty high, and I like Lucas a lot. I have no problem with Will. I wish they'd give him more to do, but Lucas had a bunch to do, and his sister Erica over the last couple of seasons. I like that dynamic, Lucas and Erica.
Yeah.
So there you go. Now I'm
Um,
just saying names of characters,
yeah.
just randomly. Okay, so we've ranked the season. We've ranked our favorite characters, and we've compared it to other seasons. Are you looking forward to season 5 now?
Oh my god, yes.
Are you sad that it's the last one?
Kind of. Like I'm sad that it's gonna be over, and I'm sad for like the cast not to be like around each other anymore because they're like
Sure.
really funny together. Um,
And they've spent years together.
yeah, they've grown up together and they've become who they are
Mm-hmm.
through the show. Like
Yep.
the show impacted them so much.
Yep.
And I think like yeah, I'll be sad when it's over, but I'll be happy I can like binge watch the entire series. Like thank God. But yeah, I think if they end it poorly, I'm out.
Sorry, Charlie's looking around for a plate and a fork when I got one out for her. But all right. I pulled one out for you.
Yeah, but you told me to go get a plate and a fork.
I said it's and let me open the syrup for you. Your sister closed it.
It was close while I got it.
No, I had left it open. Yeah. JP says if they nail the ending, they will never be sad that it ends. That's true.
Yes.
That's fair.
So if they nail the ending, then I will be thrilled that we ended it on a note.
Yeah.
I'm also kind of bummed because I feel like every season they don't give, for example, Will, I'm going to keep going back to that they don't give him screen time. I hope that the next season they will.
Okay.
And when it's the last season and they don't, I'm going to be really disappointed if they don't give him screen time. Because he
I
is
feel
the
like-
base of the show.
Well, I don't know about that. I think Al is the base of the show. I think he is, until they make him vital, that he is just this like early warning system.
Yeah, alarm system.
If they start making him seem like someone who is a tool or weapon or has some ability or knowledge in how to deal with these monsters and this other and the upside down and all these kinds of things, then he starts to become valuable to the plot as opposed to just another character. But right now he seems to be like just a warning sign that something bad is coming, which is kind of cool if they start using him as that weapon to like be like, let us know when the bad guys are near. He's like a tracking system, you know.
Yeah, it is cool, and I feel like
you're eating right next to the microphone. You want to put it in your lap and sit up here? I never let you sit on the couch and eat like this, but do you want to? You can bring your plate up. Okay.
Yeah.
There she is.
Give him screen time.
Hey, lady. We're just talking Stranger Things. You want to see my out of context spoiler images? Here's the first one I showed your sister.
Don't say what they're
So
for.
that's a spoiler for season 4 of Stranger Things. If you really think about it, there's a connection there.
You get it, Chuck?
And then this was the next one that I showed Kate. And then I will skip one and I will do this one.
Oh my god.
So there's another out of context. This is a spoiler for season 4. But really, if you haven't watched, it's hard to know what that even might mean. Even people who might have watched it might be going, I don't even know what you meant by this one, John. So there you go. That's another out of context spoiler image. I had fun this morning making these, and they made me laugh. Like every time I thought about it, I was like, "Oh, that's another one. That could be funny." Anything else you want to say, Kate? We're 30 minutes in. We've kind of done the whole show. I think we're kind of done.
Darn.
Were you?
Wait.
How about this?
Cool.
Were you happy with the last couple episodes? Because it seemed like it was frustrating you.
Yes, it was. I feel like they were really frustrating, but I wouldn't. I don't know.
Can you explain what you were frustrated by without getting into like a ton of details? Can you be like, generally, I was bothered by is it the Will thing? Like, is it just because they didn't use Will enough?
But it's Mike's character is bothering me too, just because He literally, in season 1, he literally jumped off a cliff to save one of his friends.
Yes.
And he was going to die. He didn't know 11 was going to catch him.
Yeah.
He was willing to die for one of his friends.
Right.
And he was 12.
Yep.
And then in season 2, he is caring for Will specifically because he's like scared for Will. But it's all about 11 still if you actually look at the whole season. And then, yes, they do.
Yes, they do, Katie.
I think they're actually
Dark Horse Comics is the publisher.
Yeah, they're on the ground. They're under my notes.
Yeah, go ahead and grab it.
But
oh. Yeah, they publish it's like basically supplemental stories that fit in between certain episodes or seasons. And it is, it's Dark Horse Publishers.
Did you take my fork?
Your fork?
Yeah, she took my fork.
So there was a plate, and on the plate was a fork. It was in there. I was waiting. I had it set for you, my love.
Yeah, but
I was all set for you.
Yeah, but then you said, go in there and get a plate.
Yeah, the plate that's right there. So this one was called Dungeons and Dragons. There you go. There's all the kids on the front.
Through all the seasons.
This is science camp. This is when Dustin meets his girlfriend, right?
Yes, Susie.
So this is in between seasons 2 and 3.
Yes.
This is the other side, which is basically some of the stuff that Will went through in the Upside Down, right?
Yeah.
This is Into the Fire, which is about the other girls, right, that were in the experiment. Yeah. And this really connects to what was going on in season 3, right?
Season 2.
I thought this was season 2. Okay.
Season 2.
And then 6 about one of the other girls in the lab.
They don't really tie them into the story. I don't know. They don't really tie in just because all the kids have shaved heads and she has hair.
They're mostly done by Jody Hauser and Edgar Salazar.
Yeah.
And that's the main group that's doing it. Jody Hauser, it looks like she's writing all of them.
Yeah. But, back to Mike's character.
Mike.
And in season 2, he had a lot of stuff with Will, which it develops Will's character.
In season
2.
2.
Yes.
Okay.
And everything with Will happens. And then I feel like after 11 comes back, he doesn't care about anyone except her, which is dumb because he has 5-6 other friends that
But it's that classic teen dating thing.
Yeah.
Which they're doing a great job of trying to capture. And it's very complicated. And it's easy from the outside to be like, oh, what silly mistakes they're making. And then you get there and you make those mistakes.
No, yeah, I'm not going to criticize our mistakes and stuff, but I'm just they had so much more with Mike that they could have done.
Gotcha.
And then in season 3, he doesn't care about Will, which is his best friend in the entire party.
Right.
And he just they all disregard him completely, which again, it's been happening since season 3. So I'm not surprised it happened in season 4 as well, but he's always third wheeling or even fifth wheeling. There's 6 of them there and he's okay, hi, and then nobody pays any attention to him. And then Mike and Will have a fight and Mike says some really mean stuff. And it was just it just ruined Mike's character because literally in season 1 he jumped off a cliff and he was gonna die for Dustin.
Yeah. All right.
Arg. And then season 4 he's the exact same. He's just bland.
Ouch. Shots fired.
Sorry. I like Mike. It's just he could have done more. Because season 2 Mike would hate season 4 Mike.
Yeah, I think it's hard. The bigger the cast gets, the more the writers have to juggle a lot of characters, stories, and make everybody seem important. So it's tricky. It's very tricky. What is going on, Biggie Shaq? Good to see you, my man. Kate is better than John. I agree. And Charlie's right here. She's just having her French toast. I made French toast this morning, so no bagels for today. All right, we're on to another spoiler image from the series. Let's try this one. So
that's so good.
This is a moment from the movie Wolverine Origins. Horrible movie with Wolverine versus a helicopter, and which seems like it wouldn't seem like a fair matchup for Wolverine, but it turns out to be a bad matchup for the helicopter. These are spoilers for season 4 of Stranger Things, but they're completely out of context. So if you don't, it's hard to know. It's hard to know.
That's so good.
So there you go. I made these for Kate just to kind of see her reaction, what she thinks.
They're great.
How was breakfast, Char? How was season 4 of Stranger Things, Charlie? All right. Anything you want to say out loud?
Keep it sweet.
All right. She's not ready yet. Yeah, I got 2 more. You want to say the last 2, Caters?
Yeah, and then we have to go back to what you were saying.
What was I saying?
You're just like, it's harder to juggle the characters.
Oh, we can do that instead. Yeah, I do think with ensembles where you have lots of characters, everybody needs a story arc.
Yeah.
If you watch season 1, I think Lucas doesn't have a lot to do. I think adding Erica creates a whole new family dynamic for him that's a little more interesting.
Yeah, definitely.
So I think each season, different characters have had a chance to shine, and it's hard to make everybody get their moment.
Adding Maxine kind of added to Lucas's character too.
She did.
And
I agree.
Dustin's a little too.
I agree. And the whole basketball thing this season,
Exactly.
Totally. All right. Sometimes you need to sneak up on your morning quietly, says Ariel. All right, let's try this one. So this is from Bill and Ted's Bogus Journey. And you've got Bill. And that story involves traveling with the Grim Reaper a lot. So I'm not going to, there's Bill. Oh, no, it's Ted Theodore Logan, played by Keanu Reeves. Yeah.
I'm getting
It's all right. It's all right. Spine Tick's favorite. I know, right?
Gotta explain it after the show.
If you have to explain it, it probably ruins it. And this last one is from the movie Volcano with Tommy Lee Jones. It has to do with a volcano breaking up under the ground of Los Angeles and destroying the city and causing mass chaos and having ash raining down on all the citizens from this, fiery eruption from below.
That's perfect.
So my real hope is that Tommy Lee Jones guest stars in the next season of Stranger Things.
Literally.
So there you go. Those are my out of context spoilers for season 4 of Stranger Things.
So good.
Enjoy it. Mass chaos, says Chaos. You're always ready for me to just say that word and then, pop back in. I appreciate that. Charlie, did you want to give us a grade for season 4? Nothing? You just want to lay there for a bit? All right. She's sleepy this morning. It's all right. We're having a lazy morning. I will say, sadly, it's possible the next 2 Saturdays will not be able to have a show. I might go live from the car. But the truth is we're going to be driving on the next 2 Saturday mornings. A week from today, Saturday morning, we'll be on our drive to Tahoe. And on the week after that, we'll be driving home. So sadly, those 2 Saturdays will be tricky for Saturday morning comics. It could be Saturday morning, John's cars with kids.
And wife.
Because we'll be in a car. We'll be in our van.
How many hours is that?
It's a long drive. It's a long drive.
What are we using?
Why do you really need this
Yeah,
information
it's
right
because
now?
it's so cars.
Because right now we need that information. It'll help your car
We could
sickness.
probably just bring the CD player and watch movies, and you'll have no idea.
This is true,
But I still got
as we often do. So this might be the last normal one for a while. Give me the password and you'll do the show, says Chaos. There you go. You host the show, Chris. I trust your brand of chaos.
No, Daddy, don't let anybody do the show. It's your show.
Oh, here's a movie we watched. We watched Dead Poets Society yesterday. What did you girls think of that movie? Ooh, Charlie's got the angry face on.
No,
I thought you guys enjoyed it.
I loved it.
There you go.
It was really good.
There you go.
Charlie, don't.
Don't worry about what she thinks. Opinions are personal. You can't disprove anybody's opinion. There are people that hate Stranger Things. It doesn't make them right or
Yeah,
wrong.
that's
An
fine.
opinion is just that. It's a preference.
Yeah.
How did you feel about Dead Poet Society?
I thought it was cool. I feel like seeing Ethan Hawke work because I've only ever seen him in Moon Knight and Gattaca. Gattaca. Is that
As an adult, basically.
Yeah, and it was cool to see him as like a teenager
Right.
because he was really young when he started acting, I guess. But like, yeah, it was just cool to see him act, and he didn't have like a massive role. I feel like
He's
the other
kind
guy-
of the main character, but
I
okay.
know, but he didn't. I feel like he didn't have.
Because it's about he and his roommate, right?
I know. I feel like his roommate had more.
Robert
Personally.
Sean Leonard plays the roommate.
Loved him.
Those two are the main characters, Todd and Neil, and of course their teacher.
Yes, I liked Robin Williams in that. He was really good. I really liked the movie, so I want to hear Charlie's thoughts.
I don't think she's ready to share any thoughts on anything right now. She's got the sleepy head going, which is fine. It's Saturday, It's summer vacation. All of these things are acceptable. We've caught up on all our Stranger Things. There's nothing left to worry about.
We
Yeah.
didn't talk about least favorites.
Least favorite what?
Stranger Things, scenes, characters, anything.
Well, certainly my biggest issue with season 4 is it just seems like it was dragged out a little bit.
Mm-hmm.
I don't, the stuff in Russia took a long time. The stuff in California took a long time. And I think it just sort of, it dragged everything out a little bit.
Yeah, it was really
That was my main complaint. But I had similar complaints about season 3 and certainly about the gross factor of season 3 was too gross for me.
Was it
That
scary?
really just
Gross.
exhausted me after a while. The
This-
gross factor.
This season was scarier, which I really liked that it was like spookier
Yeah.
and it gave you more anticipation for certain seasons. I was bouncing my leg up and down like I was like, oh my god,
We have not watched this week's episode of Ms. Marvel, but other than that, we are caught up. I think we've watched 3. This was the 4th one, if I'm not mistaken. So we are nearly caught up on that one. We shall see. Anything else, ladies?
Least favorite characters?
Least favorite characters? I feel like it was kind of implied by some of the ways in which we talked about characters. Go ahead. Mike would be low on my list.
Mike isn't
Or
terrible.
high, I guess, if we're counting least as the top.
But I don't know. I thought Chrissy was a good character, actually.
Billy
Chrissy.
is my least favorite character that the show's ever
Oh
had.
my god, yes.
But he's supposed to be a character you dislike. So it's tricky, versus Mike, who's supposed to be a character you like, and I don't like him. So it's it's a tricky thing.
Yes.
I think I just found Billy exhausting to watch. And I feel the same about Mike. I just get tired of him.
His big monologue in season 4 was so not important. I mean, it was,
Mike's
but like,
big scene at the end of in the finale.
yeah, but like, okay, so that's not a spoiler, right?
To say that he gives a speech, I mean,
No.
I think it's fair.
Okay, so like the whole last season was Eleven's development is that she doesn't need a guy.
Right.
That's her whole thing. And then this season, she's so codependent on Mike and what he thinks and what he says. And it's like, where did all the development from last season go?
Huh.
Where she learned from Max, you don't need them to survive. You're just like
it's like it
you're your
stayed back
own
in Hawkins.
person. Yes, it's like it was left with Max, and I was just like, 11, you're worth so much more than
That's
that
fair.
guy.
But at the same time, maybe isn't it? It's a tricky balance, right? As human beings, we are wanting to be unique and stand on our own, but at the same time, we need social contact and we need the encouragement and the approval of our people that we care about.
Yes.
So it's a tricky balancing act. That's what life's like, at
But
least.
when she was struggling to get enough, strength, and Mike said his speech, that's what encouraged her. That's what made her do it. And I feel like that kind of just threw her development out of the window for season 3.
That's fair.
So
That's a very good critique. I'm very impressed.
I
What's
was
up, Kevin
upset.
from Entropy and Comics?
I was upset with that. And then can I say something about the Will and Malevolent thingy?
The Will and Malevolent.
Yes.
11 is Mike and 11.
Yeah.
the like friendship triangle. of Will,
friendship triangle.
Mike, and 11 because they're the centerpiece for the California group.
Yeah. I feel like using Will as a developer for an 11 was kind of dumb. Just because it wasn't nice to Will. I get it. Will's a really good friend, and no matter what, he was still going to help his sister and his best friend be happy. But it was like, you just used him as development. Like,
I mean,
he's
right?
worth more than that. Like,
It's not really fair.
no, it's not fair at all. It's just, I felt bad for Will. He was crying, so I mean, I get it, but like,
yeah, he had a couple of really powerful scenes. I heard the critique that the worst person on the show is the woman who cuts his hair.
oh, I swear to God, it's not that bad this
It gets
season.
oh my God, it's so bad.
Are
He
you
looks like
kidding
he's
me?
wearing a mushroom.
It's so much better than the other
It's
season.
so
Last
bad.
season was terrible.
I love his hair.
Will's
I
hair?
do too.
I'm gonna see if I can find an image of it.
But literally, oh my God, I know this one image where so he had to wear extensions for season 3. He had to wear a whole wig for season 3. Okay. And his hair is literally Dora when they didn't cut it. It's so funny. Oh God.
That's so
That's
bad.
the photo. That's the photo I'm talking about.
I mean, it never got good.
But it never got terrible.
Look at that mushroom. This is a mushroom
Okay,
right
that's
there.
so
He's
much
a
better than
mushroom.
the other haircuts he's had. Are you
He's
kidding
had the
me?
mushroom hair every time.
Yeah, his head.
It's
Noah
it's look
Schnapp-
how much it sticks out on the sides of his head.
I know. Noah
like they just
Schnapp
sort of went
hates
plonk.
it. He hates it. He's like,
Noah's the
please-
actor.
yes, he's like, please, can you make Will not have a bowl cut? And the Duffers are like, nope. Next season, you'll have.
I
a
mean, it
bowl
was
cut."
like normal-ish in the first season.
First and second season, it was okay. It's not gonna let you do that.
You can't pinch and zoom anymore, huh?
No. He hates his Stranger Things cut. It's so bad. It is, yeah. But his hair just isn't terrible. I mean,
Yeah.
Mike has worse hair.
Mike has such
And you
worse
can
hair.
and the
Pretty
bad
bad,
part is
yeah.
that it looks fake.
It is his real hair.
It looks fake to me.
Yikes!
Do Mike's hair now.
You want to see Mike's hair?
Mike's hair development.
It's not good.
Mike's hair got so bad. This
What's Mike's
season.
last name?
Wheeler.
Okay.
But the hair's supposed to be bad. It's the 80s, bro.
Bro.
80s hair was not bad.
I'll tell you, I lived through the 80s and my hair was never like that, but okay.
Exactly.
Yeah. He's got some hair.
Season 4 is
It
the
looks natural,
first
like
one.
it's his.
It is his hair.
That's what I'm saying. Yeah. That's quite impressive.
He has quite a hair style. It's not
So,
terrible.
Dorothy Hamill. I mean, kinda. It's hard to argue against that. That was some really bad hair. There was some bad hair, but I didn't have it. So I mean, I don't have a ton anyway. So you know, I'm sure you're aware
You
of
had
that.
the middle part.
What?
You had the middle part.
I think I had a bowl cut when I was really little.
I know people Charles did when he was little.
before the age of the kids on the show when I was like 6 or 7. But once I was old enough, I liked buzzing my hair a bunch as a kid. So I liked it
I
super
did
short.
see that.
I never had like the long hair.
You were in high school though. You had the middle part that looked really good.
The middle part. All
Yeah,
right.
the Leonardo DiCaprio.
The Leonardo DiCaprio. Okay. All right. We're going to get out of here, guys. Thanks for hanging around for Stranger Things talk. And, I hope everybody's having a great time. I hope everybody's, going to do some barbecuing or family time this weekend.
Yeah.
Hey,
We're
Big
gonna
Will's here.
We're gonna watch TV.
Good to see you, sir. I hope you're feeling somewhat better. Yeah, we're probably going to be hanging with some family. And I don't know. You are cuckoo. You don't need to worry about it right now. So yeah, we'll probably be doing some family stuff, but I hope to see the fun times everybody's having and to hear all about it. We on this channel, I don't know when I'm going to be on the next time because there's no X-Men next week. There's no, yeah, it's going to be a little while. I am going on a little vacation here. So there are definitely going to be some gaps on my channel the next few weeks, but we do some great comic gories coming up. I know July 18th, we got a comic gories coming up, and then we have one right after on the 25th. So we got 2 comic gories coming up. So those will be in the future for us for sure. But that's about it, folks. We will see you all later, and have a great 4th of July weekend. Bye.